going on, guys? David Mendez here. I am accompanied by the beautiful Tove Lo.
Hey!
So last time we saw you, you were actually releasing Fairy Dust.
Yes.
The release itself, with like the carnival and all that, was phenomenal. We had such a good time.
It's like my record release, movie premiere, and birthday party all wrapped into one, so I was just like on the move.
What inspired that?
Because of like Fairy Dust, that was, you know, the first chapter of Ladywood and also my first short film of the record. It's about that kind of like sweet escape, no consequences, just having sort of the time of your life in the middle of when things are maybe not great, you know, like dancing the pain away in a bit. So I figured that party should like kind of represent that, when people just could let everything else go and just do whatever they want for one night. And I feel like carnivals or like raves in that way just usually brings that out in people. So
are you a big raver?
Yes.
So you are out here for a new short film, the follow-up to Fairy Dust.
Fire Fade, yes. It's the second chapter of Ladywood, which is kind of like when the fairy dust starts to wear off a little bit, and you know, the escape isn't that sweet anymore, and
it's like the crash coming down.
The crash coming down.
What I love about the short films is I always knew that you're a great storyteller, but that kind of just like cemented that thought. Is that something you deliberately do?
I think it was something I really wanted to do for this, because I love like telling stories. I love having like, you know, a concept and a storyline to my albums and to my music. And I think even if it is pop, you know, people kind of tend to think that pop is just supposed to be this light, breezy, with no message kind of thing. And I get that it can be that, you know, kind of like you just want it to be like something that you can kind of disappear into and doesn't make you think, or it just makes you kind of happy and you know. But I also think that because of the simplicity of like how, you know, the music is built in pop, it's kind of fun to have like more of a, you know, more layers to the lyrics and the story. And I think I had that in the music with my first record, but with the second one, it's like I wanted to create that visually too, and like get to all the layers, you know, and like tell more of a complex story that is there, not only like in me and in like, it's like everyone has these emotions, just like rarely talk about them. So it was just like to me a very like important artistic thing to get to do.
Your songs are very raw, they're emotional. So when you perform them for, you know, crowds and all that, does it get you back to that headspace of that time and moment? Is it hard to transition out of that mindset?
I think it's been kind of weird now, actually, like even talking about, you know, Fire Fade, is when, you know, the time from when like I wrote those songs to we shot this film this summer, and then now that it's coming out, like I'm emotionally in like a very different place now. I'm like really in love and happy, and like see, you know, like nothing's wrong in the world kind of. So
you're perfect
in my
now.
world, yeah, everything's perfect now. No, but so it's like for me to tap back into that is interesting to me. It's like, oh yeah, this is really how I felt. Like I gotta like remember, like even me watching it myself, the film again, I'm like, oh wow, like I was really going through something at that time, you know. And it's kind of cool to see, even for me, like take a step back, because once I've created it, like recorded it, you know, shot it, like it's done, then that's when I emotionally move on.
Right.
So it's like same thing goes for like when I perform, I feed off the energy of the crowd, like whatever they're kind of feeling, but I still, you know, it's different, like it's a different song every time that gets me live. Like it'll be, all of a sudden I'll be like, oh my god, I feel like I'm like kind of building up tears while singing moments. But it's easy for me to tap into it, because it's just all based on just feelings, and whatever they are, I can use that on stage.
Speaking of raw emotions, your music, you have new stuff coming out. Ladywood Phase 2?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, it's the final 2 chapters of this whole
Ladywood
era. Yeah. It's coming out later this year, and chapters are Light Beams and Pitch Black. Sound-wise for me, Ladywood was very, Ladywood Phase 1 was very like sonically connected, and you know, very much like followed a thread like that. I think this part, both lyrically and musically, is you know, has a bit more drama to it. Yeah, everything kind of like turned up a bit in terms of emotion in both directions. Both like Pitch Black obviously being like kind of the lowest point of the heartbreak, and then
Light Beams
is like up in the clouds.
And then Disco Tits. I'm curious how you got this title.
Yeah. so the person that Disco Tits is about, or it's like, you know, kind of losing control and just having, you know, the time of my life with like my now #1 partner in crime. And playing Coachella was like, you know, when we just kind of fully a couple. Yeah, I was wearing this kind of top that is basically just like, it looks like a disco ball exploded on my boobs. And he just looks and he goes, nice, Disco Tits. And I was like, that's it. That's who I am. That's you, and that's this.
Tove Lo, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for hanging out. Check out Fire Fade.